He's just, I'm telling you, he's just so good. Let's take a look at this. Let's just take a look. I'm waiting for the perfect ultimate, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Boom! Boom! Oh. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys a new absolutely broken Malphite build that I found myself. But before getting into the build and the gameplay, I want to say that I'm reading your comments. You guys are telling me we want more diversified champions, and you know, I get it. Like, as I'm just gonna show you for my match history. Just look at this: Malphite, Pantheon, Nunu, Wukong, Twisted Fate, Orianna. These are all champions that I don't really play a lot, and I'm playing them in very high grandmaster, as you can see, so pretty much challenger elo. And you know, I want to give you guys as many diversified videos as I can. I'm working on a lot of champions: Jax, Lee Sin, Zed, there's like 10 more, Riven, like, you know, there is a lot. So keep in mind, I'm working on a lot of champions. It just takes me some time to get really good at them, because otherwise you're not going to be getting gameplay videos like I'm posting every day, right? Where I can explain to you everything about a champion and where I can actually show you top quality gameplay. So, you know, I prefer the top quality over quantity. And what I mean with quantity is just me dashing out all of the champions. Like, I can make a Lee Sin video right now, but it would be quite mediocre, and who wants to watch a mediocre Lee Sin video, right? So I don't care about that. I want to make top quality videos. So that's why it's actually taking really long. Also for the Yasuo, I am working on it, but I cannot promise you that I'm even going to bring out the Yasuo video within this month. I want to bring out top quality content. You guys have to understand this. I'm doing my best to get out as many champions as I can. And I'm really thankful for you guys actually putting in the comments, especially in that Gragas video, where people just gave me constructive feedback like, yeah, we've seen Gragas, we want to see more champions, we want to see other champions. So I am going to be preparing a lot of different new champions, new exciting content, troll builds, everything, guys. So we start with Malphite. And yeah, there's timestamps in the description, you guys know that already. I made this build. I don't want to say that I invented this build, but I didn't look it up or anything. This is literally a build that I made myself out of scratch. So I am one of these people that says that Rod of Ages is completely, utterly broken. And it is completely, utterly broken. This item, like, you know, I showed you guys a build with Rod of Ages on Nunu. I showed it on Gragas. I've showed it on other champions. It's also broken on Malphite, guys. This is exactly the same as the Gragas build. The Gragas build that I showed you guys a few days ago. So let me just go through it real quick. You start with a Rod of Ages, and let me tell you why, especially on Malphite, you know what? This is already going to be the test your knowledge for today. Why is Rod of Ages especially good on Malphite? I want you to look at the stats that it gives you, and there are several reasons, but there is like one really important reason which is gonna bring your Malphite game to an even higher extent. So put down the benefits, and I really hope that you're gonna be putting down this very important benefit that many of you are gonna forget, and I'll get back to that later. So put it in the comments. That's the test your knowledge of today. This one is incredibly hard. Like, if you get this one right, there's like a slight part of the Rod of Ages that's incredibly broken on Malphite. After that, you go for boots, whichever boots you feel like you need. Plated steel caps, mercury threads, even ionic boots of lucidity. I generally recommend you plated steel caps because Malphite scales really well with attack damage, armor, sorry. And then for your enchantment, you go for stone plate. The thing is, protobelt is good to proc your ultimate, but enemies will see your ultimate coming if you just protobelt towards them. So that's why I actually always go for stone plate, so you get incredibly tanky. And then for your second item is Sunfire Aegis. This one is going to give you so much HP, and I'll get and the reason that this is going to be so broken is, let's get here, is because of this rune, conditioning. You're going to be running conditioning, and as you can see, these items give so much HP. All the items that you're going for give you an incredible amount of HP. Even this last item gives you an insane amount of HP. So this all just, it says 1 + 1 = 2. A broken build. Okay, so for your third item, completely situational. It already starts situationary. So this is going to be the first item that is going to be like an item with defensive stats, armor or magic resist, right? Do you need armor? Then you have to decide, okay, do I need anti-crit? You go for Randuin's Omen. Do I need anti-heal? You do not go for Thornmill. You actually go for Bramblefast instead, and then you build your next item, because it's not worth to go for the Thornmill yet. Do you need slows? you go for the Iceborne Gauntlet. Don't go for the Deadman's Blade. It's not worth it on Malphite. Never actually go for Deadman's Blade on Malphite. Frozen Heart is worth it if you just want to be reducing their attack speed, but Randuin's Omen is generally going to be better than Frozen Heart, because in this meta there's a lot of crit champions. Spirit Visage? No, don't go for Spirit Visage, because your passive doesn't really work well with Spirit Visage. It's not good. Instead, you just want to be going for a Force of Nature, if you need magic resist, of course. So, you build 2 defensive items. As I said, completely situational. From the items that I mentioned earlier, you have to decide yourself, okay, which 2 do I really need? Okay, and as your last item, now we come to the Liandries. And I want to say, the potential Liandries. If you're snowballing the game, and if you feel like you want to do even more damage, you can actually even build the Liandries as your 4th item. But no earlier than your 4th item. You definitely need a defensive 3rd item, because it's just not worth it to just keep buying health items. You really need defensive stats, because you already have a lot of health. So as your last item, if you need even more defense, skip the Liandries and build even more defense. However, if you feel like you're tanky enough already, and I can promise you that you probably are, because that's how Malphite works. If you have all these items, you're going to be so tanky, and you'll see in the gameplay, you build a Liandries. And at this point, not only are you incredibly tanky, just like the Gragas video 2 days ago, you are going to do an insane amount of damage as well. And when I say insane, I really mean insane. It's just incredible. Like, you can actually 1v1 ADCs with this build. You're even almost gonna one-shot them. That's the funny part about it. And on top of that, you're just completely super tanky. Okay, let's now talk about the runes. So here you go for Grasp of the Undying. It's really good while trading in the lane, and it's gonna give you that advantage in the early game and in the mid game, and just basically the advantage in the lane. Second rune, I like to go for Champion, because in the early game you're going to be dealing so much damage with Champion. The thing is, you could go for Brutal just for the safe damage always. It's not bad, of course, but the thing is, Champion just deals so much more damage in the early game. But as I said, Brutal is definitely not bad, because it's going to give you damage throughout the whole game, and magic penetration, which is gonna be worth it, because you don't have any magic penetration, but you do have a lot of ability power. So if you want to play it safe, get Brutal. If you want to dominate your lane early game, get Champion. However, this is a bit controversial, but even if I go for Champion, I still go for Conditioning, just because of how broken Conditioning is with this build. And the reason, of course, because you have so much HP. Conditioning is going to be providing you a lot of value. However, as I said, it doesn't provide you anything in the early game. You know, you could be thinking, yeah, Adaptive Carapace is going to be better, so you can dominate the lane. True, you're going to dominate even harder with Adaptive. However, in the late game, Conditioning is going to give you so much armor and magic resist, you're literally going to be unkillable, which is going to allow you to buy a Liandries instead of another defensive item. That's how you have to think about it, right? So for your 4th item, you do not need Mana Flow Band. Normally, you'd need Mana Flow Band if you really want to be playing Malphite. And now I'm going to be responding to your test your knowledge of today. So I told you why is Rod of Ages especially good on Malphite, and you had to look at the stacks. So we all know it gives a lot of HP. We all know it gives a lot of ability power. But I want you to look at the mana that it gives. It gives 300 max mana and then another 100 later. And look at the passive. Restore mana equal to 15% of the damage taken, and regen health equal to 20% of the mana spent. Why is this broken on Malphite? Because of the first ability, guys. Let me tell you why. When you're laning, all you need to never run out of energy is this item right here, which is called the Catalyst of Aeons. This item alone is gonna allow you to just completely spam the hell out of your first ability and really bully the enemy laner. And it makes the laning phase easily winnable for Malphite. That's why it's completely broken. Like, on top of the fact that the item itself is already broken, that's what makes it even better on Malphite, the mana that it gives you. For your spells, you go for Flash and Ignite. Do not, and I repeat, do not go for Barrier, go for Ignite. You can actually go for Exhaust as well, if you feel like you want to have an Exhaust in your team and, you know, like exhaust the enemy Katarina or Vayne. Like if they have a Hyper Carry or a Master Yi, for example, you could run Exhaust on Malphite. But I recommend Ignite, because it contributes to your one-shot potential. Okay, that was it about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. Man, Malphite, guys. This champion is just... I made a tier list yesterday and I put him on top of the A tier. But today I actually played him, and I still agree that he's A tier when you build him full tank. But I like... I just found this incredibly broken build on him. I tried my Gragas build on him and it seemed like it's completely broken. It deals so much damage and you're so tanky. I'm already gonna spoil one thing about this game. Well, probably the highlights spoiled the entire game, but it's still worth watching. I dealt the most damage in this team. Okay, from this entire team, I dealt the most damage. And I also tanked the most damage, and that one was by far. Like, I tanked 10k more damage than the number 2. Now, these numbers should already tell you how broken this build is. You're an incredible tank, and you do an incredible amount of damage. So the question is, how do you play around this build? And generally, how do you play Malphite? What is this Ari doing, by the way? I wanna tell you that this is high Grandmaster rank, by the way, and even Challenger. I have no idea what he's doing. Oh my god, I wanna teach you what I just did here. Now, you know what? I don't need to pause the video for that. I already did a test your knowledge earlier, but what I just did there is the perfect way to utilize Malphite's first ability. Now let's take Camille as an example. What did I do with the first ability? I dodged Camille's... Ooh, nice dodge as well. Oh! He couldn't catch me because I got the movement speed for my first ability. That's hilarious. So let me tell you what I did with my first ability 2 times in a row, by the way. So when you hit your first ability on an enemy, first of all you slow the enemy, which is nice and all, but the even better part is you speed up yourself. So what you can do, especially in the laning, you can utilize this movement speed and the slow to dodge abilities from enemies. Of course, like Camille's second ability. When you use your first ability and then she uses her second ability, you can either run out of it or you can run into Camille to dodge the outer half of it, right? And this is incredibly underrated because normally what I really see a lot from Malphites is all they do with the first ability is they just use it to poke, right? They just use it to poke. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying you can do more with it. There is more behind the ability than just poking. You can use it and then like you'll gain movement speed and the enemy loses movement. Here, just like that. See that? See that? I just did it again. I just did it again. Just to show you how incredibly useful it is. So when you use that first ability, dodge, you have to dodge because you are so fast, you can dodge everything so easily and you're gonna slow the enemy. And that those like utilize this. You really have to utilize this, and it's especially good against Camille, as I said, because you can easily dodge her second ability. So with the build that I gave you, you fully upgrade your first ability in the laning phase, because normally like if you go for a normal build on Malphite, you don't really upgrade the first ability because you lose so much energy from using it. It just costs way too much energy. But as you can see here, I bought that item that I talked about earlier and I'm never going to be running out of energy. So what you can do is spam the first ability. And I got my Rod of Ages right now. And like this is already a huge power spike for Malphite because you basically have infinite mana or energy. You basically have infinite mana. You can spam all of your abilities as much as you want. And yeah, just use them. Don't keep them, just keep harassing the enemy. So let's talk about the other abilities of Malphite. I already told you about the first ability. You just poke with it. And I told you about the movement speed that you get from it and slow. Utilize it, of course. Oh, here was a bit too late, but it's okay. What I utilized here is Malphite's passive, which gives you a barrier like the Mountain Dragon every 10 seconds, I believe. And the barrier equals to your max HP. So that's why, again, like this build works perfectly with Malphite. Because the barrier scales with your max HP, and with the build that I gave you, with the Rod of Ages, Sunfire Ages, and all the other items, you're going to be building a lot of max HP. So your passive is going to give you an even bigger barrier, guys. Boom! Another poke, easy peasy. They got the dragon, and I actually decided that I didn't want to go. So Camille already used her hook shot. Boom, of course I go in. And this is your all-in combo, what I just did here. So let me explain the all-in combo. You can see that it just took down Camille from half HP. First, let's take a look at what Kazi is gonna do. Quadra kill! Yeah! So okay, let's talk about the all-in combo. There's two ways to use it. First of all, you start with your first ability, and the second way is you start with your ultimate. If you start with your first ability, the burst damage is gonna come faster. However, the enemy could see it coming. Keep that in mind. So if the enemy already used their mobility abilities, like Camille, she already used her hook shot, I decided to go for the first one, which is first I used my first ability, then I actually used my ultimate to engage, then your third ability, and then your second ability. You could also first use your second ability actually. Uh-oh, this is not good. Oof. So yeah, you basically use all of your abilities. That's what it is. You just use all of your abilities. Oh, there is a huge insect in my room. Guys, that insect was so damn scary. This was the mosquito I'm talking about, by the way. It is huge. Look, this is a door. This is a door. Look at how huge it is. Oh my god. So my team is fighting. I got my ultimate again, and honestly, Malphite's ultimate is not on a very long cooldown, so you can also just use it whenever. The only thing that I have to say about the ultimate is don't use it before the first dragon, unless you can get a turret out of it, because you want to be rotating to the dragon generally and utilize your ultimate in the team fight, right? Because that's the whole big thing about Malphite, the ultimate. It deals so much damage, the knockup is insane. Oh, let's take a look at what I do in this fight. So he's almost taking the turret, and I actually decided to use my ultimate even though it missed. Now, some of you guys are not gonna believe me when I say this, but some of you are. I kinda missed it on purpose. Now the reason is, take a look at the turret. When I was in game, I checked the turret, and I saw that it was only at 500 HP. So what I could have done, there were two choices. First choice, use my ultimate over the wall and engage on the Kaisa, reduce her attack speed with my third ability and kill her. Or I could have ran all the way around and then killed her. If I ran around, we would have lost the turret. If I just used my ultimate to get close to her, I could have saved the turret, which I did, and we got the first turret because of that. So, of course, I never recommend you to actually miss your ultimate on purpose, but I just used it as a... Oh, I just did it again. I dodged the Camille. So good, actually. Like, this is top-notch gameplay. This is how you want to be playing your Malphite, guys. With the first ability. It's so good to use it like that. It seems like it's just a little thing, but it can provide you so much value. It's just insanely good. What is he doing? Oh, that's what he's doing. What is he doing? He just flashed out of his ultimate. This Camille is like drunk or something. They killed me, but what the hell is he doing, man? He's just seems like he's just has no idea what he's doing on Camille. What did I want to say? Oh, when you do the all-in combo, by the way, use Ignite as well. I forgot to say. Yeah, guys, you're gonna have to believe me that there was a giant mosquito in my room. It's insane. 5 centimeters. It was like this big. Oh my god. I killed it though. I did kill it. Get Malphite ulted, baby. Oh my god. Well, he's no more. He's not there anymore. Yeah, I killed it in a pretty nice way. Look at this. So this is my all-in on the Ahri. However, she's dashing away. And yeah, this is what happens when you all-in on a champion when the champion still has his movement, his mobility abilities. Like, you know, do you guys remember the all-in I did on Camille? It worked because Camille already had used her hookshot. Now this time it didn't work on the Ahri because she still had her ultimate. So that should be a lesson to you too of when to use your all-in on a single target. Only do it if they don't have any mobility. What is he doing? This is a free kill. Yeah, there it is. He was trying to get the dragon, but his team didn't follow up. So we just got the kill. Now take a look at the damage on my first ability. It's not significant yet, but it's pretty decent. It's like pretty decent poke. Like every 5 seconds, I just have decent poke. So here what I'm doing is I just used my stone plate and I engaged, but unfortunately my team was being held back. It's fine though, but I had to flash out. Oh, nice. My team is actually doing really well here. One second, I just need to write something. Just like 5 seconds. There it is, done. Yeah, honestly, I disagree with myself putting Malphite in A tier. He's definitely S tier actually with this build. It's just so broken. It's like actually so strong. He's not, well, he's not completely broken, but if you play him to his powers and play him with the right comps, man, with this build, like, the funny thing is it gets even crazier in the late game because your conditioning rune is going to be stacking up that magic resistant armor, you're going to be stacking up that HP, you know, the HP items, and you're going to be getting that Leandries. It's just the absolute perfect combo of everything. And by the way, in this game, I'm going for, what is that component called of the Thornmill? The component that costs 1 Bramblefast. I'm going for the Bramblefast. Let's take a look at this fight. Boom. I'm going in. Of course, I use my Stone Plate when I'm tanking all the damage. They can't do anything to you when you use your Stone Plate. Take a look at what I'm going to do to this Lux. You guys seeing how much damage Malphite actually deals with just a Rod of Ages? Take a look at this. Ahri as well. Ahri can't escape from me. Look. And boom. She's dead. It's just as easy as that. As I said, you're gonna see in the stats after this game, I dealt the most damage from everyone. And I tanked the most damage by far as well. And just look at how much HP I have. You guys can actually see the bars. It's like, how much is it? It's almost 3000 HP actually. Yeah, I gave it to him of course, because I don't need to take the blue buff. I already have an infinite amount of mana, so why would I take it, right? Easy dodge on the root. Yeah. Well, why am I even uploading this video? I'm gonna see so many Malphites in my games now. I hate Malphite so much, actually. I actually hate Malphite so much. I don't know if it's just me, but I really hate playing against Malphites. It's just such a stupid, annoying champion. Oh, I just went straight for the Leandries. Ooh. Because, okay, yeah. So I went for the Leandries straight up, because the enemy composition is very squishy, first of all. They're very squishy, and I'm actually kind of snowballing the game. And because of these two reasons, I actually decided, okay, you know what? Screw my defense items. I already have a lot of HP and the conditioning rune. I'm just gonna go for a Leandries. I don't recommend you to do this only when you're snowballing. I'm gonna repeat, this is not the best way to build this. Normally you'd want to get the Leandries as your very last item, because just building tanky items is going to be more efficient for you. But in this game, I just went for Leandries because I wanted to deal more damage. Let's take a look at this Lux. You can see how my first ability... Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this damage. You guys seeing this or... And when they all go on you, you use your Stone Plate. I'm waiting for the perfect ultimate. Oh, that was not the perfect ultimate. Oh, that was not the perfect ultimate. You can see that if you screw up your ultimate on Malphite, you really get punished for it. If you actually don't hit a lot of enemies and you just jump right in the middle of the enemies, instead of them being knocked up, of course they're going to be hitting you and they're going to kill you. So keep that in mind when using your ultimate on Malphite. If you actually miss in the middle of all of the enemies, you're gonna die. You're gonna take so much damage for free. So that's kind of the risk that you're taking for going for your ultimate, right? When you want to hit your ultimate on several enemies. If you actually don't hit it on a lot of them, they're gonna deal damage to you. A lot of damage. And the way that you want to upgrade your abilities is, first you do your first ability. Secondly, I like to take the second ability because first of all it gives you some armor, and secondly it gives you a lot of damage. Third ability is good to reduce attack speed from the enemy, but personally I take the second ability. Boom. There it is. See, the only way that he deals a lot of damage to me is with true damage. That's the only way that he can actually do a lot of damage to me. Here, I'm just using the Stone Plate and they can't do anything. I'm just keeping the jungler away, to be honest. As you can see, it's working. Just kept the jungler away and we got it easily. Really, really good. Boom. Boom. That was a good ultimate. And boom, another kill. Look at how tanky I am. You guys seeing how I'm just walking in the middle of them like it's nothing? And the funny thing is, I'm even going for Leandries. Imagine if I had gone for more defense. Just this build is so broken on Malphite. And the thing is, it perfectly synergizes with his passive, because as I said, his passive gives you bonus bonus barrier equal to his max amount of HP. So the more HP you get, the better it is. That's how it works, guys. It's the perfect formula for the Krusty Krab. Malphite. Yeah, they're taking the Baron. It's really risky actually, because the enemies can actually go for it. This is really risky for them to go for the Baron. This is not the right call. They got it, but it's risk for no reason. That was not a good call. That was not a good call. It was just lucky, honestly. Enemies could have checked, and if they did check, they would have screwed us over right there. That was not good. Look at this, look at this. I took 0 damage. I still took 0 damage. Look at this. All of that was 0 damage. And look at them, just look at them. I even tell them stop tickling me. Guys, that's what this build does. And look, I have the barrier again. I have my passive again. Just, this is Malphite. This is Malphite. This is Malphite with this build. This is what happens. Oh my god. It's incredible, and you're gonna see soon how much damage it can also deal. You're gonna see it soon in a team fight. Oh, you guys need to play Malphite after this video. I'm telling you that. You need to actually play Malphite. He's just, I'm telling you, he's just so good. Let's take a look at this. Let's just take a look. I'm waiting for the perfect ultimate, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Boom! Boom! Oh my god. Oh, instant surrender. Instant surrender. That's what I thought. Instant surrender. Instant surrender from that ultimate. That's how it goes. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Instant surrender. Performed better than 97.7% of Malphites. Really? That's interesting. Look at this. Most damage? Oh, I didn't do most damage. Oh my god, I actually lied to you. I thought that I did most damage. Wait, I remember that I did the most damage. I am so sorry, guys. I genuinely thought I did the most damage. And also, I guess I exaggerated a little bit because I only tanked 6k more damage than this Yasuo. I am so sorry. I genuinely remember in my brain that I did the most damage. Okay, that is sorry. That's my bad. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I did. I also enjoyed making it. So thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.